On the far edge of the galaxy, beyond the busy trade routes and bright core worlds, there was a small human colony called Erebos. Most alien empires did not even mark it on their star maps. To them, it was nothing, just another forgotten world, where a few humans lived, too far from Earth and too poor to matter. Alien merchants who sometimes passed near the region mocked the place. They called Erebos the Lost Humans, a colony so far away that it did not even count as part of galactic civilization. The reports confirmed this belief. Erebos had no warships, no allies, and no voice in the Galactic Council. It was a quiet, isolated world, surviving on farming and small industry. To the galaxy, it was invisible, but invisibility was exactly what the humans wanted. The quiet mask on the surface. Erebos looked weak. Their cities were modest, their spaceports outdated, and their defense satellites barely worked. When alien surveyors scanned the planet, they saw nothing unusual. Everything looked normal, but underground, deep beneath the soil and the mountains, reality was very different. Hidden away from alien eyes, the humans had built vast underground factories, machines that never stopped, furnaces that melted metal day and night, and hangars big enough to hold entire fleets. No outsider ever saw these places. If an alien trader landed on Erebos, the people smiled politely, sold grain or minerals, and said nothing. They let the galaxy think they were weak, forgotten, harmless. But in truth, the colony had been preparing for a century. Whispers of the past long ago, when Erebos was first settled, a secret message came from Earth. Survive quietly. Grow. Hide your strength. One day, you will be needed. Generations passed, and the colony followed that message like a sacred order. They mined their world, dug deeper than anyone thought possible, and built things that no one outside Erebos could imagine. Every child on Erebos grew up hearing the same promise. The galaxy will forget us. That is good. When they laugh at us, we will already be ready. The galaxy forgets by the time other empires noticed Erebos again. It was too late. Alien survey ships saw only small cities and farmers. They are nothing, the aliens said. A poor colony, barely holding together. Let them rot. The galaxy turned its eyes elsewhere. Wars broke out near the core. Trade disputes filled the council halls. No one cared about Erebos, and that was their greatest mistake. The secret awakens deep. In the caverns of Erebos, the first colossal warship was almost complete. It was not a normal battleship or cruiser. It was the size of a city, armed with weapons that no alien had ever seen, powered by reactors that could tear apart moons. It was a weapon of conquest, not defense. The workers of Erebos never spoke of it in public. They called it only Project Dominion. The entire colony lived for this purpose. Every hand, every resource, every hour of labor went into building the machine that would change history. The galaxy laughed at Erebos. But if they had looked closer, if they had dared to see, they would have realized that the humans there were not preparing to survive. They were preparing to take. The first sign it happened without warning. In the middle of a calm night, sensors across the sector picked up something strange. A massive energy surge came from the region of Erebos. Too strong, too sudden, too unnatural. Alien outposts nearby turned their instruments toward the small, ignored colony. At first, they thought it was a mistake, maybe an industrial accident. But the readings grew stronger, so powerful that even distant ships could feel the distortion. Then the images came. Something was leaving orbit. Not a small ship, not a freighter, not a cruiser. The sensors showed a silhouette the size of a floating city. A warship, enormous, impossible human in design, but nothing like the galaxy had ever seen. The ship rose slowly from the clouds, its hull glowing with the heat of its engines. It was armored like a fortress, bristling with weapons. and it carried the unmistakable mark of human engineering. Built for war, built to win. The aliens who watched the signal could not believe it. The lost humans of Erebos, those forgotten. Isolated settlers had built something the galaxy could not ignore, and it was only the beginning. Cliffhanger. Ending of Part 1. The first human warship of Erebos left orbit. Across the galaxy, alarms rang. Alien leaders demanded answers. But the truth was already too clear. The isolated human colony had just shown its real face. And soon, the galaxy would learn what humans had been building in the dark. The alien. Empires did not take the warning seriously. The energy surge from the human colony was dismissed as a glitch, a simple error in their scanners. Reports came in from small trade ships. The humans are testing new reactors. Nothing to fear. Alien leaders laughed. The colony was poor, cut off from Earth for centuries. What could they build? But then 3 weeks later everything changed. The vanishing outpost on the edge of Elith Confederation space. A small mining outpost reported strange shadows in the sky. Sensors picked up a massive object approaching. It did not match any known ship. The outpost commander sent a distress signal. Unknown vessel inbound. Its enormous size of a capital station. The signal cut off. Hours later, Confederation patrols arrived. The mining outpost was gone. Not damaged, not destroyed, gone. Only a burned crater remained where the station had once been. Rumors spread. At first, alien officials silenced the news. They told civilians it was a reactor accident. But smugglers and traders whispered the truth. A human warship did this. We saw it with our own eyes. The idea was laughed at. Humans could not build a warship bigger than a freighter, let alone one large enough to wipe out an entire outpost. Yet more strange reports followed. An entire patrol fleet's 7 warships vanished near the human colony's border. Survivors. In escape pods claimed a single ship had attacked them, firing weapons no one had ever seen before. They used energy lances. One pilot gasped. Our shields. They didn't matter. It was like fire cutting through paper. The Council. Meets the Galactic Council gathered in secret. Alien ambassadors argued loudly. They are just humans, one sneered. A primitive colony, another agreed. They cannot threaten us. But Admiral Soran of the Vyari Dominion slammed his clawed hand on the table. Do you fools not understand? They are no longer hiding. They are preparing for war. He played the recordings from the survivors. The council chamber went silent as they saw a colossal human ship, black and jagged, moving like a shadow through space. The ship's engines glowed with a deep red light. It looked alive. The second blow before the council could reach a decision. Another strike came. This time, the humans did not target an outpost. They went for an entire star system, the industrial world of Lorth, known for producing ship weapons. A single human vessel arrived. It broadcast no message, no warning. Alien. Defense fleets opened fire, hundreds of ships surrounding the intruder. But the human ship unleashed its powered-out energy lances, cut through battleships. Orbital stations collapsed in flames. Planetary shields cracked open like glass. Within hours, Lorth was burning. The humans did not conquer it. They destroyed it. New fear across the galaxy. Panic spread. Everyone had ignored the isolated colony, calling them weak. Now, whispers filled every spaceport. The lost humans have returned. And they want more than survival. They want revenge. For the first time in centuries, the galaxy was afraid of Earth's forgotten children. And deep in their hidden colony, the humans were already building another ship bigger than the first. Cliffhanger for Part 3. Alien spies infiltrate the colony to discover the truth. But what they find beneath the surface is far more terrifying than anyone imagined. The alien patrol fleet drifted lazily through the outer edges of the sector. To them, this was the most boring assignment in the galaxy. Their orders were simple: monitor the lost human colony and make sure it caused no trouble. Captain Jiran of the Valari Empire sat in his command chair, half asleep. His crew shared the same boredom. The humans had been on that isolated world for centuries, and they had never caused any trouble. No fleets, no advanced weapons. Just farmers and miners scraping out a living. At least, that's what the reports sighed. But tonight, the reports would be proven wrong. Captain, a sensor officer suddenly shouted, his eyes wide. I'm detecting something. A massive energy signature coming from the human colony. Jiran frowned, annoyed. Check your systems. That world has no reactors of that scale. No, sir. The officer replied, panic creeping into his voice. It's real, and it's moving. On the tactical display, a massive red shape appeared slow. At first, then accelerating with shocking speed. It was a ship. A human ship. And it was bigger than anything the Valari Patrol had ever seen. The bridge went silent. The warship that emerged from the planet's orbit was not a simple freighter or retrofitted miner. It was a fortress in space, its armored hull glowing with shield energy, its engines burning with unnatural power. By the stars, one crewman whispered, that thing is the size of a city. Captain Jiran's stomach turned cold. He realized instantly that the colony had been hiding its true strength. These humans hadn't just been surviving. They had been preparing for war. Raise fleet-wide alert. Jiran barked. Call command now. But it was already too late. The human warship locked onto the Valari patrol fleet. Its weapon ports opened like the eyes of a predator. Energy surged, and beams of impossible intensity shot across the void. In seconds, the Valari ships were shredded. Shields collapsed, armor melted, and entire vessels tore apart before they could even maneuver. Jiran's ship trembled under the first strike. Consoles exploded, smoke filled the bridge, and alarms wailed. Return fire, he shouted, even though he knew it was hopeless. His fleet was made of light cruisers and escorts, never meant to face such a monster. Their plasma cannons fired, but the shots simply splashed against the human ship's shields, leaving no mark. The crew stared in horror. It doesn't even notice us, one whispered. They were right. The human ship did not slow. It moved with calm, terrifying precision, destroying everything in its path like a predator swatting flies. Jiran's ship took another hit. Systems failed, and the hull began to split apart. The captain had just enough time to send one final transmission to command. Warn the Empire. The humans. They are not weak. Then his ship was gone, vaporized in a blast of white light. Across the sector, other alien stations began receiving the distress calls. Reports poured in, a single human warship had destroyed an entire patrol fleet in minutes. The messages ended with static. Ships erased before they could give details. The Valari Empire's military command sat in stunned silence. For generations, humans had been dismissed as irrelevant. Their colony was ignored, mocked, and left alone, because it was thought to be weak. But now, that weakness had proven to be a mask. The commander of the Valari fleet slammed a fist on the table. Impossible. How could humans build something like that without being detected? No one had an answer. And worse, this was only the beginning. Back on the human colony, in the underground command center, Governor Marcus stood before a vast holographic display. The image of the destroyed Valari fleet glowed brightly. The humans in the chamber cheered, but Marcus raised a hand to silence them. This is only the first strike, he said. His voice was calm, but there was a cold fire. In his eyes, the galaxy ignored us. They thought we were weak. They called us lost. But today, we showed them the truth. He turned to the military officers gathered around him. Prepare the next phase. One warship is only the beginning. We will take the entire system. The officers saluted. Deep beneath the colony, more hidden hangars began to open. More giant ships, waiting in the shadows, powered up their engines. The ground rumbled as titanic reactors flared to life. The galaxy had no idea what was coming, and the humans had no intention of stopping. Cliffhanger. Ending of Part 3. The human fleet once thought impossible was rising from the shadows. And their first conquest would not be survival. It would be domination. Alien fleets rushed into the sector, alarms blaring across dozens of command stations. The colony world once ignored, once mocked, was now the center of every conversation in the galaxy. The first to arrive was the Zereth Dominion. Their fleet of 70 ships, armed with plasma cannons and shield breakers, entered the human system. The Dominion commander expected a quick show of force. Crush them before anyone else interferes, he ordered. But the humans were already waiting. Above the colony's skies, the warship that had first appeared, Titan I, was no longer alone. 3 more city-sized ships rose from orbit. There, hulls glowing with unfamiliar energy patterns. Alien sensors screamed with errors. Nothing made sense. These ships didn't match any known designs. They carried weapons the galaxy had never cataloged. The Dominion fleet opened fire first. Dozens of plasma bolts streaked across the void. For a moment, the human ships vanished in the storm of light. The Dominion crew cheered until their cheers froze. The human warships emerged untouched. Their hulls shimmered like glass, bending. Plasma fire away as if it were rain striking stone. Then the humans struck back. A single beam from Titan I lanced across the void. One Dominion cruiser simply split in half, its pieces drifting into the black. Another followed seconds later. The alien fleet tried to scatter, but the humans didn't chase. They fired with cold precision, every shot ending a ship, every blast. Deliberate. Within minutes, 70 alien warships became debris. Not a single human ship had even flinched. The galaxy trembled. News spread faster than light. Every empire sent spies, scouts, envoys. The Council of 9 convened in panic. This is impossible, one alien leader whispered. Humans cannot build fleets of this scale. They were abandoned centuries ago, but reports kept arriving. Hidden factories on the colony moon. Vast tunnels beneath the planet's crust. Cities working together in silence for generations. The humans had been preparing not just to defend, but to conquer. The shock grew worse when more colonies were discovered. Signals revealed that the isolated humans had not only survived, but had spread across nearby systems, quietly terraforming. Worlds, building hidden bases and testing experimental weapons. For hundreds of years, the galaxy ignored them. And now, the galaxy realized it had made a fatal mistake. Back on the colony world, the humans celebrated not with cheers, but with silence. Their leaders gathered in underground halls. Phase 1 is complete, a general said calmly. They know we are here now. The time for hiding is over. But the general did not smile. He knew this was only the beginning. The humans didn't plan to stop at defense. They planned to take an entire star system and hold it against anyone who dared challenge them. And soon, the galaxy would learn the true cost of underestimating humanity. Cliffhanger ending. In the dark of space, sensors across 5 sectors lit up again. More human ships were leaving hidden shipyards, dozens this time, not just one. Their engines flared like newborn stars, each heading outward. The galaxy had mocked the lost humans. Now, those same humans were marching to war. The alien coalition was restless. Messages flashed between their command ships, each one carrying tones of disbelief and fear. Reports from scouts were the same. The humans. They have a warship larger than anything in this sector. Still, arrogance lingered. Alien generals scoffed, telling their fleets that this was a bluff, an illusion created by primitive minds desperate to look strong. They laughed until the first human strike began. On the colony world, the people stood gathered, across cities, watching massive screens as their leader spoke. His voice was calm, but his words carried iron. For years they called us forgotten. For years we lived in silence. That silence ends today. And with that, the colony's true strength revealed itself. From deep caverns and underground bays, more ships rose into orbit. Not one, not two, but an entire fleet. Each vessel was sharp-edged, armored, and powered by reactors that glowed with blue fire. The once helpless colony was now a fortress among the stars. The alien coalition panicked. Their fleets scrambled to form defensive lines. Warnings went across their channels. Do not provoke them. Wait for reinforcements. But it was already too late. The first strike came without warning. The human city-sized warship fired. Its main cannon a weapon, never before recorded in any alien archive. The blast of energy ripped through the void, slamming into the alien flagship. For centuries, that flagship had been a symbol of pride and fear across the galaxy. Its hull was forged with alloys said to withstand the wrath of suns. But under the human weapon, it split open like glass. A silence followed. Across dozens of systems, alien commanders froze, watching the impossible happen in real time. The humans had not only matched alien technology, they had surpassed it. On board the warship, the human commander gave no time for hesitation. His orders were simple, his tone steady. Advance, target every hostile fleet. Leave none in orbit. The fleet moved with frightening precision. Human. Ships darted through alien lines, cutting them apart like blades through paper. The aliens fired desperately, but their weapons barely scratched the massive human hulls. For every volley, the aliens fired. Humans returned 10 times more each shot, landing with perfect aim. In less than an hour, the skies above the colony were clear. Alien fleets were reduced to burning wreckage, drifting silently in orbit. But this was not the end. The humans did not stop after defending themselves. Their leader's command echoed across the fleet. This system is ours now. Move outward. Take every planet. Secure every resource. No alien banner will remain here. And so began the first human expansion. Alien colonies within the system, once laughing at the forgotten humans, were shocked when human warships appeared in their skies. The humans did not beg for trade, nor did they ask for alliances. They conquered. Cities surrendered within days. Alien governors, who once mocked humanity, bent their knees and swore loyalty or faced destruction. For the first time in galactic history, an insignificant colony had risen from nothing and then taken control of an entire solar system. In the Grand Council Hall, chaos erupted. Alien leaders shouted over one another. Some demanded immediate retaliation, calling for a galactic fleet to crush the humans before their rise spread further. But others, those who had seen the battle recordings, sat pale and silent. They had watched the human warship tear apart their proudest flagship in a single strike. They had seen entire fleets erased. And deep inside, they knew the truth. If one colony had this power, what would the rest of humanity hold in secret? The humans themselves gave no answer. They sent no messages. Of peace, no explanations. Instead, they left only a single broadcast across the galactic network. The image was simple. Their warship hanging in orbit, its shadow covering the alien worlds it had conquered, and a single line of text appeared beneath it. Humanity is not lost. We are the future. The galaxy trembled. Because now they understood this was not defense. This was not survival. This was conquest, and the humans were only getting started. The alien council chamber was in chaos. Reports poured in from every corner of the sector. Human warships were not just powerful, they were spreading like wildfire. No one had expected this. The lost colony that everyone laughed at had turned into a nightmare fleet. Admiral Track of the Vorn Dominion slammed his clawed fist against the table. This is not possible. Humans cannot build warships of this scale. Their planet is weak. Their people are scattered. But another commander whispered nervously, and yet they have done it. Every empire had the same problem. Their fleets were stretched thin, guarding borders, maintaining trade, and suppressing rebellions. No one had enough forces in one place to match the human fleet. And worse, human tactics were strange. Instead of attacking planets or stations directly, they targeted shipyards, fuel depots, and communications hubs. Every move was precise, almost surgical. Alien commanders soon realized that the humans were not fighting for territory. They were cutting the galaxy's supply lines, apart piece by piece. It was a trap. The Arakthi Empire thought they could crush the humans by gathering a massive armada of 300 ships. They moved toward the colony's star system, weapons charged, sure of their victory. But as they entered the system, something strange happened. Their sensors flickered. Navigation systems showed false readings. Ships drifted off course. Communication broke apart in bursts of static. The fleet commanders shouted orders, but confusion spread. It was as if the humans controlled the very space around them. Then the trap closed. From the dark side of the colony's gas giant, massive human warships emerged, silent, enormous, their hulls glowing with strange blue lines of energy. They did not fire immediately. Instead, they moved with terrifying precision, blocking every escape route. Admiral Rethos of the Arakthi shouted, "All ships fire at will." Beams of plasma and bolts of antimatter tore through the void. The humans did not dodge. They did not retreat. Their ships simply absorbed the fire. Shields flared. Hulls shook, but nothing broke. Then the human fleet answered. A single broadside, unleashed by their lead warship, destroyed 6 alien cruisers in one instant. The explosion was so bright it blinded sensors. The second salvo carved through the heart of the alien armada. Entire battleships cracked apart like fragile shells. Panic spread. Alien captains tried to flee, but every jump route was blocked by human interdiction fields. They were trapped inside the system, like prey caught in a net. And still, the humans advanced slowly, step by step, as if savoring the hunt. A young alien officer, his voice trembling, reported across the comms. They are not fighting for victory. They are making an example of us." Within hours, the entire Arakthi fleet was gone. Not a single ship escaped. News of the massacre spread across the galaxy like wildfire. No one could hide the truth anymore. Humans were not only back, they were unstoppable. But what terrified the galaxy even more was the mystery of their weapons. No one knew where the humans had built such ships. No one understood the energy that powered them. Alien scientists studied the battle recordings in horror. Human weapons seemed to warp reality itself. Plasma bolts bent in mid-space. Shields did not behave like energy barriers, but like solid walls. The Council demanded answers. Spies were sent. Scouts tried to follow. Human fleets. None returned. Whispers spread through the galaxy. The lost humans were never lost. They were waiting, preparing. In hidden chambers, alien rulers began to argue. Some demanded peace with the humans before it was too late. Others called for total war, gathering every fleet, every weapon, every soldier. But none of them understood one terrible truth. The humans had not shown their full strength yet, because deep in the heart of their hidden colony, far beneath the surface of the planet, something even greater was being prepared. War machine not meant to fight fleets, not meant to conquer planets, but to challenge empires themselves. And when it rose, the galaxy would finally understand humanity had never been weak. They had only been patient,